Prescott running right on the right side of the end zone. It'll be Terrence Williams. I'll catch it. Touchdown, Cowboys. Prescott keeps. Pylon. Touchdown. Back goes Prescott. Bryant, a leaping catch at the 5.
Over and over again, at critical moments, he came up with big plays. He just played winning football for us, and he did the things that winning quarterbacks do. I just thought he was outstanding throughout this ball game.
You are right, Jason Garrett. Dak Prescott has now won 10 straight starts as a rookie, the second most in NFL history. The only other rookie quarterback to win more, it's one Ben Roethlisberger. Not bad company to be in. Stephen A., from what you saw yesterday, can Dak take this squad all the way to Houston for the Super Bowl?
No, I'm not giving him that. I mean, I'm not saying yes or no to it, but I'm saying y'all are not going to get me to sit on national television and concede a damn thing until I absolutely positively have to. It's week 10 of the regular, week 11 rather, of the regular season. The playoffs have not arrived yet. The competition that he's going against has been decent. He is to be respected for how phenomenal he has looked. Listen, I am a Cowboy hater extraordinaire who is fully capable of loving certain members of the Cowboys. Michael Irvin is my man to the end of time. So is Emmitt Smith, and I have profound respect for Troy Aikman, who does an exceptional job as an analyst, by the way, not just as a 3-time Super Bowl champion quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys during his heyday. Just because I can't stand their fan base, because I think the Dallas Cowboys fan base is the worst, most delusional, obnoxious fan base in American history, and I just can't stand them, doesn't mean that I ignore the greatness that I see from individual players wearing their team's uniform. Having said all of that, it will force me to hold down the fort and to make sure that we don't jump out ahead of the game and give respect before it's due. Dak Prescott is a stud. He's big time. But that doesn't mean he is profound enough to overcome the perpetual accident waiting to happen that is the Cowboys that we have known them to be. Until he proves otherwise, which comes postseason time, I ain't giving him a damn thing more than I just gave him. I'm holding down the fort. That is where I stand.
Now, come on. You know it when you see it. You mentioned Ben Roethlisberger, who, by the way, wasn't very good in the playoffs.
Nothing yet.
Wasn't very good in the playoffs the first time round. I mean, he made a tackle in the open field after throwing an interception, but you could see Ben Roethlisberger was a great football player. You can see the same thing in Dak Prescott, and you can smell it on a guy. You're not always going to be right about it, but you can have a pretty strong sense of the kind of player that would, play big in the big moments when you needed them to most. And Dak Prescott has there's every indication that he's that kind of guy. Again, it's been that way since the first time you saw him in preseason, if you're honest with yourself. Can Dak Prescott win a Super Bowl as a rookie? The answer is absolutely yes. He can do it. I'm not saying they will, but if they don't, it's not going to be because of Dak Prescott. It'll be because of the defense, as I mentioned earlier. They have a problem getting pressure on the quarterback. So as you saw yesterday, Kirk Cousins, who's a very good quarterback, having an excellent season this year, you can say that about him. But Kirk Cousins, looked like Peyton Manning because he had all day to throw. That will be, if they are undone, their undoing will be their inability to get pressure on the quarterback. It will not be Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott will not be the reason they don't win, if they don't win, because I'm here to tell you, and I think I just spat up in my mouth a little bit even thinking about it, the Cowboys can win the Super Bowl this year. I can't even say it. Don't make me say it. But Stephen A., it ain't going to be because of Dak Prescott if they don't. That guy's got it written all over him. He's a winner.
So Dak Prescott's not capable of having a bad game?
He's capable of it, sure, but ain't going to happen when you need him the most.
Dak Prescott's not capable of having a bad game come playoff time?
Derek Jeter was capable of having a bad game, but you wanted him up with the game on the line. Dak Prescott's that kind of dude, man. What are you going to deny that? You can see it.
Those are the things you say. Those are the things we said once Derek Jeter went to the postseason and proved he was Derek Jeter.
In his
We're
rookie
waiting for
season.
That with Dak Prescott. We shall see.
In his rookie season, he did it. Tom Brady, too.
Yeah, look at the team he had with him.
Huh?
Look at the team he had with him. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not giving Dak Prescott anything yet. I acknowledge he's a young stud. I ain't giving it up. I ain't giving it up, not yet.
You just
I'm
want
going to hold down the fort. I'm going to hold down the fort.
You stay with
I'm
that.
going to hold it down.
You do that. The Seahawks, Legion
I'm
of
not
Boom,
moving.
they
I
might
ain't
have
giving
something
them
to say about it as
I ain't giving them
well.
anything more than I've already given them. Nothing else.
Okay.
Him or Zeke. And I know they studs, but damn it, show it in the postseason. We'll see.
All right.
We'll
Please
see.
don't, Dak. You don't need to show it in the postseason.
We move on to the matchup within the matchup. One of the storylines that dominated the game was Dez Bryant versus Josh Norman. And the trash talk, folks, it was at an all-time high. Dez, tell us about it.
Washington need to get their money back. The guy can't even go one-on-one. He bails and he holds. Never seen it before. Never just seen that out of a player.
I played him 3-4 times now, and in those times, I don't even think he broke 30 yards or had any significance on any kind of game.
Do you feel like he saw the real Dez Bryant this time around?
Man, he got lucky, put it that way.
You're talking last year. When he was there.
Oh, he got lucky then. He got lucky this year, too. We could have roasted his ass.
This guy bumped into me like, what's up? Where I'm from, we unload the clip, so pretty much whatever you want to do. Not that guy that see a challenge from the face and back down. That's not me.
I honestly feel like the guy's extremely soft. I think he's just a bunch of talk. You know, if he was out and about, I wouldn't dare in my life let him talk to me like that.
Max, yesterday was a holiday. Lots of eyeballs on this game. Did they go too far?
No, this was awesome. I mean, this is what you love to see, that level of competitiveness. And really, I guess the spilling over, the tipping point where it really boiled over was when Norman's going to congratulate Dak and Dez gets in his face and all this. But it had been going on all game, and this is part of Josh Norman's value. Not the highest draft pick, not the most athletic guy at the position, not considered a shutdown corner, and yet, when he matches up with the other team's top receiver, or even when those two teams play, he manages to get under the guy's skin. Odell Beckham, as I said, last year, burnt him all over the field, like burnt Josh Norman. I don't care what Josh Norman says. We all saw the game. But Beckham started dropping passes. Beckham doesn't drop passes. Why did that happen? Once again, Dez Bryant's team wins the game. And Dez talking about, I'm going to show you all the times that Josh Norman got burnt and this and that. But the bottom line is, it's Dez who seems to be catching feelings behind what happened. Josh Norman is not only an excellent player, he has this ability. He's like a souped-up Cortland Finnegan in this respect. He has this ability to get under the wideout skin, the star wideout skin, to take him out of his game, to make him something usually less than he is. And you got to give it to Norman because that comes from his pure competitiveness. And it's one of the reasons, as much as I dislike the Washington franchise as a Giants fan, that he's one of my favorite players to watch. Not the most talented, but maybe the most competitive.
Max Kellerman, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but forgive me if I veer left a little bit and bring up something else. And I'm quite sure, I don't think you missed it or anything like that. My perspective is just different than yours. And I'm quite sure with your level of sensitivity, you'll appreciate where I'm about to go. There's a quote in here where Josh Norman is accusing Dez Bryant of telling him after the game, where I'm from, we unload the clip. Now, let me tell you something. As a black man in America, particularly seeing what has transpired in the streets of Chicago over the last several years, where we're talking about murder after murder after murder that has been taking place and bodies falling by the wayside and lives being lost. And we're talking in an age about police brutality, and we've got folks like Colin Kaepernick, before he revealed what a hypocrite he was because of his unwillingness to vote and to exercise and activate himself in the last election, or any election for that matter, because we've learned that he's never registered to vote according to himself. I mean, the fact of the matter is we've got some real serious issues as it pertains to violence in America, and in particular in the black community. And so when you've got two brothers who are unquestionably elite, I know both of them, at least a little bit. I consider them both to be really good brothers that I'm incredibly proud of, the things that they've accomplished in their professional careers and beyond. This is not the kind of language we need to be hearing from them. You can't sit up there being elite as you are, being the winners that you are, thinking about your futures and the kind of impact that you're trying to have, not just on the football field, but extending beyond that. And then literally go in front of the media and start echoing stuff like this. Now, I don't know whether it's true or not, because to Des Bryant's credit, he categorically denied that he had said what Josh Norman said he said. But if he is wrong, if he's lying, if he did say that, it's wrong, and we need to make sure it's clear. He don't need to be saying that to anybody.
I'm
and
glad
if you're
you
Josh
brought that
Norman,
up, Stephen A.
And if you're Josh Norman, you damn sure don't need to be going to the media and telling the media that he said those words to you, because it's not just about you at that particular moment in time. It carries far, far, far more weight, and it contributes to the stereotypes that are attached to young black men and what they're willing to resort to in the event that there's some kind of disagreement where, by and large, we are law-abiding citizens that don't need to go that route. So I just think it's important that we make sure. I got nothing but love and respect for both of them, Des and Josh. But something like this, first of all, should never be said. And number two, and more, and just as important, if it was said between you two, that's not something you need to be going to the media.
That's where I disagree.
And telling everybody.
I think you're raising a very good point, because that's what jumped out at me, too, that comment. I disagree that Norman shouldn't say it if Des said it to him. If he's making it up, obviously that's bad. But if Des actually said that, what Norman is, I mean, that's the indicator. Des plays himself when he says that. What he's saying is, the feelings he has are so serious. Josh Norman was able to affect him like that emotionally, that he says something like that to him. He has to take it to that place, because that's how much Josh Norman got a hold of his brain in that situation. No. And Josh Norman reporting what Des Bryant said, Des didn't have to say it. He said it. Josh said, this is what this dude told me. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with Norman reporting that.
There's nothing wrong with it if it's just about you two, but when you say it to the media, you're disseminating that kind of message to the masses, and then all of a sudden, we're not just thinking about the two individuals, we're thinking about a community and the stereotypes that we have to fight against and battle against every single day.
That's
not
fair.
to mention, Max, that also Josh Norman stepped up and said at the end of it is that, hey, if that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be. We could end the clip we could end it out on the field all day, every day. I'm just saying that you got to think about it beyond that. Listen, they're both good brothers, and I understand that we are sitting up here talking about it, and it can be viewed as being taken out of context. But it's important that they understand that the reason that I brought it up, the reason that I'm mentioning it, is because I happen to know that there are a bunch of people out there who don't look like us, don't share our culture, that are going to take it the way that I fear they're going to take it, and that's what I think the players need to watch out for.
Fair enough. Let's leave it there.